Okay, we mentioned Byron Leftwich a little while ago because he was a hot commodity last year. There was a report that he was going to be the new Jaguars coach. Adrian Wilson, the executive with the Cardinals and the longtime safety with the team. And I think he ended up elsewhere for a little while, too. Wasn't he with New England for just like a brief cup of coffee at one point? Maybe I'm misremembering. But he's identified mainly as a member of the Cardinals. He was going to be the GM in Jacksonville. They were going to force out Trent Baalke, and it just never happened. It just fell flat. Now here we are. Byron Leftwich embattled. I mean, this was supposed to go very differently. Let's set this up. Bruce Arians, if we accept him at his word, and I'm not sure I'm willing to, but if we accept him at his word, 17 days after Tom Brady unretires, Bruce Arians steps down because basically he wanted to give his guy, Todd Bowles, an opportunity to succeed. He wanted to put him in a good spot. There was a presumption everything was going to go well. Well, it didn't go well. And now, Chris, what you got is two of Bruce Arians' lieutenants who may not be on the same page anymore. In Todd Bowles, the head coach of the Bucs, and Byron Leftwich, the offensive coordinator. Multiple reports out of Tampa that Leftwich is going to be out. Let's have a listen to Todd Bowles from yesterday talking about Byron Leftwich and possible changes to the coaching staff.
I don't have any assessment right now on reevaluating players. We'll meet as a coaching staff later in the week, and I'll meet with individual coaches as well as the staff, which we do every year, and we'll make those assessments then. I don't want to sit here and say we're talking about things when I haven't even talked over things with my coaches. We do our yearly assessment just like we do with the players.
I don't know. Look, I've never been a head coach of anything at any level, and I don't want to be.
Yeah.
But I kind of think he's got a little backward there. Wouldn't you? I mean, I know you want to. I guess you want the benefit of the information and the analysis that your coaches have about the players.
That's the first
before
thing.
you decide whether you're going to fire the coaches. It's just kind of weird. I want to get every last drop of information I can out of this guy before I ask him to pack up his stuff and go.
Yeah,
it's kind of a strange. It's a strange reality, but there's a lot of strange things about that industry.
Yeah, there is. It is a strange. It's normal process here. I mean, again, this is the day they just lost 2 nights ago. I mean, so right. You know, yesterday is one of those days where you're saying bye to the players. You know, they've come in, cleaned out the locker a little bit. Yeah, and you start to get to your coordinators and coaches and go, hey, evaluate your position group a little bit, and they're going to send back like a report and kind of go from there, and then. I would think by the end of today, it starts to go into evaluating the coaches a little bit and the conversations about the future and where that goes. I mean, I'm a little shocked by this. I don't know. Maybe there's something going on that I'm not aware of down there or whatever. But, I mean, that offense, man, I know Bruce Arians was there and was a part of it. Byron Leftwich, we know, was a major architect of the offense. They win the Super Bowl with – a first-year quarterback who's older and, like, you know, again, you have to play a certain way, and they find the right formula and dominate the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Last year, I mean, they were one of the most explosive offenses in football. I mean, and weren't great at running the ball last year. This year, again, 45-year-old quarterback, injuries on the offensive line, Mike Evans has lost a step, Chris Godwin's not the same, Leonard Fournette's coming to the end. There's no Gronk. There's no Antonio Brown. You have a quarterback who is afraid to stand in the pocket and throw the ball down the field. He can make no plays off schedule. They don't run bootlegs ever. You can't run bootlegs with Tom Brady. It's never been a part of an offense. So that's why they can't run the ball, and the weak side guy can steal the runs to the weak side all the time because you never have to worry about Brady. But it's Byron Leftwich's fault. And that, I don't know. This, again, if there's something I don't know about, I'm sorry. But from the outside looking in, it doesn't look right, to me at least.
One of the reports out of Tampa, I think from pewterreport.com, suggested they were thinking about firing Leftwich during the season when things weren't going well. And the whole thing just seems weird because It has been this sense of it's Leftwich and Brady working together to devise the offense. Bruce Arians, when he was there, was just kind of the overseer. And remember, that was one of the narratives last year, one of the reports, one of the storylines, that Arians would swoop in and make changes. And there was some resentment because they were the guys busting their asses. Arians was semi-retired. Let Byron Leftwich and Tom Brady do their thing. And I don't know what happened this year. I don't know whether or not the offense struggled simply because Tom Brady was distracted. Tom Brady wasn't all in.
Yeah, there's all
because
that
he was
too.
going through
Right.
serious personal issues that, and
he went to Mr. Kraft's wedding in a big
45.
game in Pittsburgh. I mean, yeah. And then played that crap, and we just go, oh, okay, no problem. Keep going. Yeah.
How many NFL players are married long enough during their careers that they get to a point where they go through a high-profile divorce? I mean, how many NFL players are married to somebody that would even be a high-profile divorce? Has that ever even happened? And Byron Leftwich is the guy who's trying to hold it all together while his quarterback takes a 10-day break during training camp, goes to a wedding the night before, or the Friday night before, a game that they ultimately lost in Pittsburgh that they should have won. And then, hey, it all could have been forgiven, and it all could have been forgotten if they had turned it around and rediscovered the vibe that we saw from them in the playoffs each of the last 2 years. But when you fall flat on Monday night, that's not a very good closing argument if the thought is to keep Byron Leftwich around. And we mentioned this yesterday. There's a vibe coming out of Pittsburgh that maybe Mike Tomlin is waiting to see what happens with Leftwich before he makes a final decision about Matt Canada as the offensive coordinator. Now, I don't know that Tomlin makes all the staff decisions there. I think Art Rooney II, the president of the team, has a lot more influence and control than people realize. But, it's something to monitor because just the mere fact that Todd Bowles didn't come out and say something along the lines of, why the hell would I fire Byron Leftwich? It makes you wonder what's coming next.
Yeah, I hear you there. It was a disappointing year. I get that. But, man, there was a lot. And, again, maybe there's something here that I'm not aware of. But it seemed like things were off kilter within that organization all year long, right? And we heard little rumors about people complaining about other people in the organization and all of that. And again, it's hard to put your finger on any one thing. I think it's a team that, its shelf life expired a little bit. That's how quickly it happens in the NFL. And they need to kind of refurbish their roster to a degree. And, we're blaming the offensive coordinator. And I know there was issues there, but man, there was a lot of issues within that made offensive coaching pretty hard.
And here's the other reality before we take a break here. And I like Todd Bowles. Seems like a great guy. Seems like a great coach. He's 34-51 now as a head coach. And he falls into the category of guy who, and now, of course, he was a head coach with the Jets, where no one, I think, is capable of being successful for a variety of reasons. But he was with the Jets as the head coach. And then you come to Tampa. You win a Super Bowl. Things feel different. And, Bruce Arians didn't get criticized for this the way he should. I was too focused on whether or not he was telling the truth. And if he was telling the truth, the idea that he deliberately walks away when he did to basically force the team to take on Todd Bowles as the head coach. I mean, that was the quote that he gave to Peter King, Arians did. Basically, I did it now instead of next February because next February you have an open search and you got coaches who lose their jobs. So I did it now so I could hand the baton to Todd Bowles. That's basically what he said. I don't know that ownership would be all that thrilled about that. Like, we'd like to hire a coach that we want, not the coach that our last coach wanted to give the job to.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe there'd be some chatter about Bowles being one and done, but as we go into 2023, he's going to be one of the guys, Chris, that is firmly on the hot seat.
Yeah.
And job number one is going to be, what are you going to do on offense? Are you keeping Leftwich? Are you moving on? And then what are you going to do at quarterback? Because I doubt there's any way Tom Brady's playing for that team next year, not where the organization currently stands.
No way. I mean, like we talked about yesterday, he was trying to get out of there last year. I think he saw some of the writing on the wall there. Maybe Bruce Arians did too. Now, Bruce, listen, anybody that knows Bruce, he is the type of dude, the type of guy that would do that for his guys. That's why they love Bruce Arians. He is one of those guys that would do that. I don't think you would disagree with that. He'd be one of those coaches that would pull a power play like that for the benefit of, his coaches. And I think that's why anybody that's ever worked for Bruce Arians, for the most part, loves him and, would take a bullet for him. And I don't think we can, disregard his little imprint on the team as a head coach either. His ability to light a fire, the hot poker, talk some crap, no excuses. I do think that made them an edgier football team that they've missed with maybe Todd Bowles here this year. But yeah, I that whole process last year, I don't know if we'll ever know exactly what went down. I don't know. I don't know. Was it Brady forcing the issue? Was it Bruce going, wait, the freaking guy wants to come back and play. He didn't really want to play for us. I know everything that's out there. He's trying to go to the Dolphins, and now he's coming back. I mean, Bruce could be the type of guy I'd be like, I don't want to coach that jerk. I want to beat him up every day I see him.
Why are we bringing him back?
Right. Why are we bringing him
back?
I'm out of here. Yeah. So there's just a lot of things there that are weird. It's been a weird year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And if nothing else, I think Brady's instincts have been reaffirmed because he knew it was time to get.
Yeah.
And after what he went through this year, now again, his personal issues may have been a factor, but I think he probably would say, yeah, I was right to want to move on because this wasn't the year that I hoped it would be. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.